Good morning and welcome to Turfs Up Radio's Weekend Review. I am your host, Darren Gruner, and I am live in the Turfs Up Radio studios in always sunny Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Well, today's one of those days where it's not so sunny, but it's okay because if we keep saying it's sunny, it's gonna be sunny. I'm telling you, Florida's like that, right? It's really cool. I know a lot of you guys are getting some really chilled weather up there in the Northeast, or actually all over the country. I mean, even as far up as even North Florida, I totally get it, and I'm so sorry. But guess what? You guys can always come and visit me. Isn't that great? You can always come down. And guess what? And you can do it on a spur of a moment, just like what I got here. I got Wayne Voles hanging in there with me, taking care of the other end of the Weekend Review on a moment's notice. Wayne, thank you so much, man, for coming in. I appreciate that.
No problem, Darren. Hey, man, it's always fun to get on here and talk a little shop with everybody because you know what, we're all landscapers, and you know we all know that. I always tell my guys, you know, being a commercial landscaper and lawn contractor, we're almost like boatsmen. You know, we got a great plan in place. Something comes up last minute, and you know we got to redirect the sail and change the direction. So yeah, man, I'm glad to help and look forward to it this morning with you.
Listen, let me tell you something. A really good buddy of mine that's been in business, a smart man that has a very successful business in the country, has always told me, he says, you know what, smart people think alike. They always run the race, and they can run in parallel lines. They don't have to cross all the time. And if you're successful and you know what you're talking about, and you keep doing the same thing and you keep progressing, when you do reconnect down the line, you're going to be on the same platform. You're going to be at the same level. So it's always able. So that's what's cool about like-minded professional, because we all have that same mindset where we know we can keep up the pace without interacting all the time, but we can keep up the pace, right? Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, I've worked on the premise, man. If you need something done, find somebody busy.
Find somebody busy, right? I love it. I tell you what. We have an amazing time here at Turfs Up Radio. Things are going in so many cool directions here with what's going on. Sometimes I actually need to take a break. I actually think, oh my God, you know, everybody, you know, all of our professionals that are listening on a day-to-day basis, they get it. They say, you know what? I feel the same way. I feel like I'm constantly moving, constantly wanting to do as these little tasks that you set forth or you plan become successful, you succeed them, and you realize that everything that I put forward to do, all the goals, the little goals that I achieve, they get done. Wow, what else can I really do? And then you get excited and you want to do more and more and more and more, right, Wayne?
Yeah, you know, that's exactly right. It's that drive to win that we have as business owners and business managers in a lot of cases, or the drive that we should have anyway, right?
Absolutely.
You know, that just says, hey, I want to win, man. What's it take to win? I don't want to come in second place because hell, it's hard enough for people to remember who won, much less who came in second, third, and fourth. So my drive every day is to come in first.
I want to know who won the Super Bowl last year. We all know who that was, right? But who did they play?
Right, but who came in second? That's right. You know?
I don't even remember. There are going to be some guys out there that do, especially the losing team. the losing.
That's right.
But then they consider themselves loser. But let me tell you something. They shouldn't be losers. They're winners because that's exactly what they did. They achieved what they wanted to do. They wanted to get to the Super Bowl. It's so funny when they talk about the Super Bowl. They say, we're going to be in the Super Bowl. But no one says, I mean, it's very few people that actually say we're going to go to the Super Bowl and win. So
yeah, that's right. Sometimes they're happy with the mediocrity of just getting there.
It's just getting there.
And I think that with all due respect, you know, it's like, you know, you have to be in the race or you're going to position yourself to win it.
That's right. But when you do get there and you do win, then you want to do more. You want to win again. And you want to win again and again.
That's right.
So, and that's what's really cool, and that's interesting, and it happens on so many levels, especially as professionals. We're out there, we're trying to move forward, we're trying to keep things going. You and I have been trying to connect all week, and it's been, and I get it, and I know your head is right into this, exactly what we're doing, and I really appreciate this. But Sarah's just telling me that Alexa won't play Turfs Up Radio anymore. Sarah, I want you to understand that Alexa's touchy. You have to tell her. You have to tell Alexa to launch Turfs Up Radio, and I think I just did in my office here, and it went on here again. So it's funny. Now, now she said yes. You're right. And she said never mind. It finally did. That's right, Sarah. You get Alexa's touchy. Alexa, I don't know what it is. Sometimes she gets a little upset with me because I don't turn her on all the time. And I don't mean that in any other way except for the fact that I'm turning. I'm just kidding.
You know, that's funny you said that because, you know, my mind went down that road, but, you know, that's all right. I know you didn't mean it the way it sounded. Right?
That's funny. Yeah. Well, that's how we are. That's the kind of guys we are. We talk about. It's funny. Last night I'm having. Renee and I are just goofing around. We're just, you know, doing our thing. It was a nice day off for her, and I just took some time for myself because, you know, even though I kind of took a little bit of time off of Turfs Up Radio, I still had a busy week because I still talked to a lot of people. People still wanted to have a conversation. So it was nice to finally relax with her. And I'm getting, and you know, Facebook, I think I sent you what I got sent last night. You remember?
Yes.
I showed it to Renee, and Renee's laughing. She's like, oh, but that's guys. That's how we are. Guys. We love stupid stuff like that. And it just, I don't know. Sometimes we just want to be
boys.
stupid.
That's right. Boys will be boys. And, you know, we try to grow up, and my wife consistently telling me that, you know, I need to grow up a little bit, but gosh, Darren, I'm 56, man. I think I'm running out of time to grow up. I don't know.
I know. You're like me. My mother used to say to me, Darren, when are you going to grow up too? And what do you see yourself doing when you grow up? And I'm like, well, let me get there first. Let me grow up first, which I don't even know whether that's going to happen. So
yeah, because I think we got plenty of time to be dead, right? So let's just have fun and enjoy.
That's right. Well, I'm gonna tell you something, Wayne. I've learned. I'm so glad to have met you. You know, you have been an inspiration. Even though you and I don't talk on a regular basis, but when we do, I learn so much from you. There's so many things that I take away from all the things that you talk about, and I want you to know so this is really important. So I'm really excited to have you on the show today. And I want for you to come back, you know, periodically would be great. But Turfs Up Radio Weekend Review, we really want to make sure that people are staying on track with their lawns. We want to make sure that they have a good product in hand that they're talking about. There was a lot of good companies that have joined Turfs Up Radio that I truly believe in their product. And it's not just because they're supporting us. It's because, you know, it's a conversation. Now we talk about Turfs Up Radio. We've only been streaming, you know, since February. So we're a new disrupting station that's really starting to gather some really great contributors. And what we're doing is doing it very slowly. We're not out there trying to get people to advertise on our station just because we need money. It's not about the money. It's about the product. It's about pulling everybody together, putting everybody in one space, and making sure that we're sharing like-minded stuff. And I think it's important. But we have some great products, and we want to share them with you. So we're gonna talk a lot about that during this show. Wayne, we're gonna learn some stuff from you because you're not only a Profits Unlimited guy. You're gonna be, you know, we talked about doing the news every day, Monday through Friday.
Right.
Boy, I can't wait till you do that. You notice how I put it on you and not me. I just want you to know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be really fun, really exciting. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I think we're going to have good content for everybody.
I'm telling you, I talked to some great guys. We already talked to Lawn and Landscape. We talked to Brian Horn. By the way, we got a great interview coming up with Brian Horn next week. This guy is from where he came and where he's taking Lawn and Landscape magazine, how he got involved, and where he's taking Lawn and Landscape magazine. I want to share with all of our listeners. This is exciting stuff. They're on the forefront of everything to do with lawn and landscape, and I want to share it with the people that are listening to us on Turfs Up Radio. I'm very excited about that. And by the way, we have, if you guys want to go, if anybody wants to go, you can just simply you go to our website and you can click in, but you fill out their form and you enter the promo code Turfs Up, and you will get a discount on the show. So if you're ever thinking of going and you don't want to pay full price, it's a good way for you guys to save a little bit of money. But before we do that, we'll talk more about that. There's also, right after this show, Wayne, Adam Linneman has got a really cool interview coming up, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that right after the weekend review. So whoever's listening, So the guys that are listening now, I want you to stay tuned right after the weekend review because this is going to be big. There's so many ways for you to be able to listen to that. But when we come back, we got traffic on the turf with Wayne Bowles. So I'm giving you some time to think about what should you be doing to your lawn right now, today, November 9th, 2019. What should you be doing to your lawn? Wayne Bowles is going to help us with that. And we got much, much more right there after that. Okay, turf time right now is just 10 after 9.
Now, here's today's traffic on the turf.
There you go. You all ready to get funky? What about you? Are you ready to get funky, Wayne? I love it.
Oh, yeah, man. Let's do it, man. Traffic on the turf. That's awesome. I like that.
I'm glad you did, and I'm surprised you've never listened to this segment. It's a great segment. We really want our pros to know exactly what they should be doing. And by the way, we expect that you already know. And this is just reinforcement. We invite any of our listeners to come on, give us a call, and say, you know what, I'd love to help you with the traffic on the turf segment and talk to you about my part of the country, what we're doing to our lawns, because I'm from the Northeast, and we take care of our lawns in the Northeast a lot differently than you would take care of your lawns in the Southwest.
Right.
So we would love that. So down in Kentucky, you have a different zone, right? And
right, yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Well, it's really crazy, Darren, and you talk about the different zones that we all have as different contractors, and what makes it a little bit challenging here in Kentucky, where I'm located here in Louisville, specifically northern Kentucky, is we're in what's considered a transition zone. So that means we grow bluegrass, we grow zoysia grass, you name it, it grows here.
Wow.
And it's very problematic, especially with the warm season grasses, that we have in some of our turfs that we maintain. It's because, the warm season grass, in our market, they're the first ones to turn brown and the last ones to turn green in the spring. And, a lot of our customers, I shouldn't say a lot, but some of them put up with it. A lot of them want to try to get rid of it. And that's problematic in itself. And I know all the guys listening here that are in our transition zone with us, understand, that whole problem. You try to remove Bermuda or zoysia out of a cool season lawn, it's almost impossible, to do it. A lot of times, our customers are called and they'll say, can you get rid of this? And you say, yeah, well, you need to move. That's how you really,
I was going to tell you that. And, even it's funny because before I left New Jersey, and before I left the business, we came across, I started going to a tall fescue up in New Jersey. That's it. I used to, instead of doing the mix that everybody liked to do, a little bit of rye, a little bit of bluegrass, I started saying,
bluegrass,
yeah. I'm going to just go straight tall fescue. The turf type tall fescues up in the Northeast are beautiful. You got great green color. It's soft to the touch. It's just gorgeous. And then we would do acres of lawns like that, and they were easy to take care of. They were less susceptible to fungus and disease. I love that grass. And then I started noticing some bent grass started going in. I'm like, what? At the time, I didn't know what the bent grass was because I'm from the Northeast. You don't get bent grass in the Northeast. I can only imagine the trouble that you guys have if you're in a transitional area.
It's crazy. And, and then the customer, they hear, we're almost past the problem of people talking about Kentucky 31 fescue in our market. But, that was, just a wide-bladed clump.
Builder's grade grass. Yeah, they used to take that.
Yeah. The builder puts in there, and then we tell them, hey, we'll do a renovation. We can get rid of that and put a fescue. We're like, no, that's what I got. No, you don't understand. We're gonna give you something that looks a whole lot better. Fine blade, doesn't clump, and we can do that. And that's the nice thing about it. The thing is, though, a lot of that's done. It's a very shallow window, as we call it, with our business of, when we can take care of those lawns, when we can transition from something that's an undesirable species, whatever it might be, to something desirable. In our market, we try to, if we're going to redo a lawn and renovate a lawn, we generally try to put some type of fine bladed tall fescue in for somebody because we just know it's going to be consistent, and touching base on, what you had mentioned also is it's something where we can put that in for a customer, and the maintenance is not going to be nearly the challenge with that, from disease issues, fungus issues, and generally we'll use a blend of tall fescues, all fine bladed tall fescues.
Yep.
Because you get into disease fungus issues sometimes with lawns, they'll like one variety of grass over a different variety of grass. So, and sometimes that can be, the explanation of that to a customer, is they're like, am I going to tell it? No, to me or you or anybody to look down and see 3 different varieties of grass in there, they're not going to notice it. But
right.
It's the advantage of you to have that blend in that lawn.
Are you doing? What are you doing to your lawns now? Are you doing anything now? It's
yeah,
over.
we're a lot of people look at now, November, the end of the season, but it's the end of weed season.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's the end of weed season once we get a killing frost, but that's really the time when, we're doing our fertilizing. Like currently with us, we're finishing up our first round of fertilizer for our lawns. And then we generally, because of the heavy clay composition we have in our soil here in Kentucky as well, we have a lot of times we got pH issues in lawns. So we do at least a maintenance level of lime, to just, because you get your pH gets out of whack, you got an acidic soil, you got weed issues that come along with that. So that's our next application we'll do is our lime application, and then we do a winter fertilizer application, sometime late December, early January timeframe.
Wow,
that's what's on our schedule.
What a different way to look at maintaining lawns. You're starting with your first round in November. Our first round would be March in the Northeast.
I got you.
And in Florida, they don't have a first round. They just have a continuous round. It's just continuous.
And it's funny, Darren, that you mentioned that talking about rounds and things.
Right.
When we started this we started our lawn business in 1979, but we started treating lawns probably back in 85, I think. It's too far back to remember for an old guy, but I share that for this reason. When we started, we had 4 application system, 4 or 5 maybe, that seemed to work. And now, we're up to an 8 applications program for our customers that really want to have a premium type lawn. And it's, people talk, I don't know if it's global warming or what it is, but our seasons have certainly changed over the years. And so, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier from a maintenance standpoint. We've got to always be looking at our schedules, and what's working, what's not working for our customers, and how can we adjust? I know we used to, back in the day, we used to put down 1 application of fertilizer in the fall, heavy. And now we've decided, with different things that have come along, better fertilizers, slow release fertilizers and whatnot, we can spread those applications up a little bit and give our customers a better lawn longer, moving into the spring. So,
well, listen, we got a lot to cover here. Welcome back to Turfs Up Radio's Weekend Review. I'm your host, Darren Gruner, and I am live in the Turfs Up Radio studios in always sunny Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I got Wayne Bowles, Profits Unlimited, Wayne's Lawn Care, Wayne's
Lawn Service,
not just care. Service.
I hear you, man. Lawn Service.
Wayne's News Forecast Weather for Wayne's World. Hey, if that wasn't taken already, man, we would use that, for crying out loud.
It'd be perfect, wouldn't it? No, hey, Darren, it's kind of funny that you said lawn care because we get that so much.
Yeah.
And, you talk about things, that kind of just bug you a little bit, but they bother you a lot.
Yeah.
And not with you, but it's like our vendors, okay? We've got an invoice in that says Wayne's Lawn Care, and I'll call them up. I'll say, "Who you want to pay this bill, Wayne's Lawn Care or Wayne's Lawn Service?"
It's a name.
It's a name, man.
Yeah, it's a name. You got to right. You can't listen. Don't call me John. Call me Darren. That's my name. Right.
Yeah, that's right. So, but yeah, that's why when you said that, man, I thought of that immediately because, man, it happens all the time. But it's just one of those little things,
Well, that bugs me.
It is what it is.
That bugs me about Turfs Up Radio. People always say, I got a chance to listen to your show. What do you mean, my show? Which show? We have multiple shows. We have so many shows on our station. We have that's what I meant. Well, no, then why didn't you say it? But listen, it's okay. At least people are paying attention to us, and we love that. So, and that's the way people used to say. I used to say this, Wayne. I used to say, you know what? Call me anything you want. Just call me. I don't care.
Just call me. That's right. Just call me. That's right. We'll work the name out later.
Right, exactly. So I like to take this opportunity at this part of the show to talk about just like, remember, you ever watch Family Guy? Remember Peter? What grinds his gears? Some things grind my gears. And right before we went to break, I was telling you that I'd like to talk about, since you and I kind of grew up in the same, even though we were parallel lines, right? But we didn't know each other growing up. But we grew up in the same business. We did the same thing. Well, I'll tell you what, the things that we did back then, we look back now and say, how can these guys do that? Specifically, guys that are driving around their trucks without their their name on the side of the truck, without their GBW, without their license. How can they do that? Yeah. And Renee says to me, Darren, didn't you do that when you were a kid? And I'm like, well, yeah, I guess I did.
No taillights on the trailer. Right. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, but we did. My point is, Wayne, is that we did that. And don't tell me you
did the exact same thing. No, that's right. You did the exact same thing, and it goes back to what you were talking a little bit about earlier about your parents not listening. It's like, okay, just last night, my wife scolded me about something. And I'm not going to get into it here on the radio because it wasn't industry related, but it was the same idea. We're driving, we'd had dinner, you were out, and she's like, you did that same thing.
I know.
Back in the day. Why are you on these people because of this? And I'm like, God, she's right.
So what do we do?
After 36 years of marriage, I think I finally figured out she's right.
She is. No, well, that's the truth. They are always right. We just don't admit it, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Because it's easy. Listen, it's always easy to tell people how to run their lives rather than managing your own life. First of all, it's already a given that they're going to be right.
Yeah, that's the given.
I mean, that's the given, right? So I get that, but it's true. So let's think about this, Wayne. Let's really try to put this thing in perspective. It's like a never-ending cycle where I'm going to screw up, I'm going to grow up, know the right thing, then I'm going to yell at the guys that are screwing up, that are learning the right. You know what I mean? How do we stop this cycle? How do we stop it? And can we be the people to make that cycle stop? What can we do? Let's help them.
I don't know, Darren. And I'm certainly not a quitter.
Right.
But I don't know that the cycle ever really stops. And I think because of what we can do with our individual companies is try to stop the repetitiveness within our own company,
right,
rather than trying to stop it as an industry. And I say that speaking as a consultant with Profits Unlimited. A lot of times I'll be presenting somewhere and it'll be, at a seminar, and a guy will say, this sounds great, but you're not going to change everybody in this room, Wayne.
Yeah.
And they're exactly right. We're not going to change everybody in this room. And that's what I tell them. I say, I'm not here to change any group. I'm here to change one person, because as business owners, it's up to us as a business owner to take control of our own individual company. Right. And that's what we have to do. And I think that's what we try to do is don't worry. Cause back in the day, looking back, Darren, I worried too much about what everybody else was doing and not enough about what Wayne's Lawn Service was doing, if that makes sense.
I could tell. Well, you've always had you have that. Listen, that's how we learn, though. I mean, that's how we learn. We learn from others, and there's that crossover too. There's that that gray area where we're worried about trying to be too much like somebody else. But the truth of the matter is, though, Wayne, that there are, and not to sound punny or anything, but there are 50 shades of gray. So you might have that that shade that's just a little bit different, but very similar to the one prior to that, and that's okay, right?
And that's okay. Sure. There's more than one way to skin a cat, I mean, and that's what I try to help people understand too, falling right into that 50 shades of gray thing.
Yeah.
That there's a lot of different things that we can all do to help our companies be more successful. But I think the main thing we all can do, and this is where I fell short for a lot of years with my company, was the easiest thing we can all do, it's actually two things, is keep our eyes open and our ears listening.
Yeah.
Because we can always see something that somebody else is doing that, hey, that's a good idea. I ought to try to do that in my company, or and I think that's where a lot of times contractors have a little bit of tunnel vision, and they're not receptive. They don't have their eyes open. They got tunnel vision with that, and they're not listening. I think that's where it can all be better if we listen more.
Let me say something. It goes all the way down the road, okay, all the way down the line about people. There's going to be a mentality of what I want. What do I want to hear? Okay, who do I want to listen to? Do I want to listen to a guy that sounds like he's very successful, or do I want to listen to a guy that's taken the easy road out and got away with certain things because he, and it's a case in point. Why do we see the same thing happening on the news every single day? The negative stuff, the people that are getting shot in the middle of the street, people that are stealing cars, kidnapping people. Why is that happening? Do the people that are watching the news, do they just not watch the news? I'm assuming probably not. But if they do they think it's a good idea to do something like that? Maybe I can do that, but I could do it better. I could do it better.
Yeah, I'm not going to get caught. That's it.
It's a matter of, and it's a matter of who do you want to listen to? Who can be the most appealing? And that's what I love about having diversity here with Turfs Up Radio. And I love that, while you and Adam do the same thing, you're going to attract a different type of person than Adam would, with the Green Executive. And it's okay. I mean, You're both great people and great advisors, and you know that. And you guys are great friends, and you're doing the same thing. But you don't feel yourself. You don't feel as if you're competitors. You feel like you're both helping each other, right?
Right. And, that's one thing with, all the different companies that we have listening to this program right now.
Right.
I think that's a big takeaway. They got to understand that their competitor can be a friend. It doesn't have to be the mindset of, going down the street and flicking somebody off. Well, they stole my business or they did this. I think we'll find out, and I know it certainly helped Wayne's Lawn Service when we opened our eyes up to, not all of our competitors are our adversaries. There's a lot of people out there within everybody's market that we can help each other, because there's more than enough work out there, right, in our industry for everybody.
Hey, listen,
okay.
I'm just so you know, I'm thinking about starting my own consultant business too. Darren's Green Industry. I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding.
No,
that I'd be scared of. No, I'm just kidding. I would be scared. I'm just kidding. You never know.
No, heck, you'd be great at it because you got the experience to tell a guy, hey, man, here's the weird things I did that didn't work. And I think that's what guys appreciate, with Profits Unlimited and probably with Adam too, is that we just tell the truth. These are the things, this is what we did. This is what didn't work. This is why we think it didn't work. And hey, you might not want to do it that way, but try it. If you think it'll work for you, try it. Because the worst thing's going to happen is it doesn't work.
I want to know how the person. I want to go back. I want to go back to what I was originally saying at the top of this segment here about these about not having your name on the truck and knowing that you're an unlicensed contractor. Knowing, there's a lot of guys that listen to us that don't have certain licenses to do certain things, irrigation, namely, or lighting, or stuff like that, and they're like, well, Darren, I do it anyway, and the customer asks me to do it, and they get the permits, and I do it. Who cares, right? Well, how do you really feel? I just want to know how you really feel. I want to know how you really feel when you drive up in your unmarked truck, unlicensed, who you are, business, and you pull up and you drive up and you work on your neighbor's lawn, and you see the guy next to you doing the same thing, completely legal, nice new truck.
Professional.
How do you feel? I want to know how you feel.
Right.
Just tell. I can't imagine that you feel proud. And that's the whole idea of this. We need to elevate and educate our industry. Shouldn't you feel proud about who you are and what you do? I mean, it comes off to your client.
Having pride. That's exactly it. That's a big thing that I talk about quite a bit, Darren, is, having pride and what you do. And pride doesn't mean just have liking, and it goes back to what you're talking about too. We use the acronym PRIDE. The PRIDE is Professional Results and Daily Efforts at Wayne's Lawn Service. None of us are going to be perfect. We do not strive for perfection, but we can strive for excellence. And that's where you got to have pride in what you're doing. It's just like what you're saying. A guy pulls up, he's got a trailer that's falling apart, no tail lights on it. And then here pulls up a nice trailer. It doesn't have to be new, right? But it's clean. The lights are working. It's got a license plate on it. The truck's lettered. We look professional. And I think if we want to change our industry, I think the easiest and fastest way we can change our industry as a whole is to look and act more professional.
Yeah.
And that getting the proper licensing is the start of that. A lot of guys, I talk to, they don't even know they have to have, say, a pesticide license to apply fertilizer. Well, I'm just putting fertilizer down, or I'm just spraying Roundup in cracks. A lot of it goes back to a lack of education, and that's where they can gain a lot of that from Turf's Up Radio. That's where they can hear the tip of the day, or that's where they can gain a lot of the little things that they're not going to know otherwise. They can hear right here on Turf's Up Radio. And now I always tell guys, hey, it wasn't stupid when you didn't know what you didn't know. But once you know, you need to fix it.
Hey, that's good. That's a good way. I want to talk to our listeners here, and if you believe in what Wayne just said, and you want to be part of Turf's Up Radio, and you want to be able to spread the word, and it's frustrating to you, because I know if it's frustrating to us, it's frustrating to you as well. And you want to know that, you want a way to explain. You don't want to stop these guys and say, what are you doing? You're not like. It'd be great to offer them some advice. And the easiest way to do that is by handing them a card and say, why don't you listen to Turf's Up Radio? If you're in the green industry, listen to Turf's Up Radio. It's a great way to do it. If you guys want to get involved, become a contributor. We'll send you a pack of cards that you can hand out and be part of this, and say, I'm part of something big and something that's important to the industry, something that's going to help elevate and educate the industry. It doesn't cost you a dime. We want to get you involved. We want you to be part of Turf's Up Radio, the only radio station dedicated to the green industry. Wayne, give me a second. I'm gonna take another quick break, because there's a lot of things coming up. I mean, we're constantly educating ourselves as well. We're not just talking about educating others. We need to learn too. And being in business for 40 years isn't going to stop us from learning on a regular basis. So we got some events coming up. These events are educational events coming up. We're going to talk about that and much, much more. Turf Time right now is 9:50. Welcome back to Turf's Up Radio's Weekend Review. Got Wayne Voles, Profits Unlimited, Wayne's Lawn Service.
Thank you, Darren.
Yes, Wayne's Lawn Service. I like that. You cover Louisville, Kentucky, right? Where are you at?
David. That's funny. Louisville. You got to say it like say Louisville.
You got to say it like that.
Louisville.
You got to fill up your mouth with air. Louisville.
With Louisville. And it comes right on out of there.
It does. Hey, by the way, last night yesterday, I should say, we did some day drinking yesterday. Not a lot, a little bit. We don't get too crazy, right? But we went to a place on Las Olas, and and I said, I feel like a bourbon. Why? Because I went to the tour. Jeff Hesser and I, Matt Hudson, the landscape.
I saw that.
Landscape tech. Yeah, we had a great time, and it was at the Old Foresters, by the way, bourbon. I learned a lot about bourbon, what makes whiskey bourbon, because once it's bourbon, And we found out what was so special about Old Forester, and found out that it was the first bottled bourbon in the world. First bottle.
Really?
Bourbon.
I did not know that.
You got to go take that tour. It's $37, I think, a person. but it's worth it.
Yeah.
And they give you a taste test. You got to be 21 or over.
I was going to say, I bet they gave you a sample or two too, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because they put these 3 shot glasses in front of you, and they expect you not to drink it until they tell you to. And I'm like, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
I had it all done. They were all gone before the guy. Okay, now this is how I want you to taste it. Well, I already tasted it too late.
Yeah, smell it and sip it and all that, and it's like, no, man, let's just drink it, right?
Wayne, I don't like anything. I just don't like the way alcohol tastes. I just don't like it. So I always drink fast. Renee always yells at me about that. I'll drink wine fast because I just don't like the way anything tastes. But
okay,
the funny thing is, so we went to this place. God, what was it called? B Docs or Doc B's or B Square? I don't know, whatever. On Las Olas. I'm so sorry if they're. I'm sure they're not listening. They're not green industry guys. But if they are, I apologize. But I asked. I said, you wouldn't happen to have Old Foresters? Oh, yes, we do. As a matter of fact, Old Foresters is our house bourbon. That's unusual.
Really?
That's unusual. All the other bourbons like Bullet and Knob Creek, they're all $14, $15 a shot or whatever. Old Foresters was only $8. I'm like, shit, I'll take that.
I get it. I know, like I can take that one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're like the historical bourbon. Why would they be I would think they'd be. So then I went to the liquor store. I said, I got to go buy some because I want to have some for the house. Because I'll drink maybe 1 or 2 shots, every once in a while, and it'd be cool to have it. They're like $56 a bottle. I'm like, what? I don't need that. God, that's crazy.
Shoot.
But anyway, I want to talk about real quick about what's to come. I know you're probably not going to make it to the IA, but there's a lot of big events coming up. But mainly, I want to talk about this technology conference that's happening in Orlando in February. Lawn and Landscape magazine is hosting this. It's all about technology, what's new in technology. Brian Horn, I got an interview with him next Sunday on next Sunday on Raise the Mic. You have to listen. Yeah. I know you'll listen, Wayne, because you you always listen to these great interviews. Raise the Mic. It's a great interview with Brian Horn. Find out about where he, what got him started in journalism, and how he got to get involved with the green industry and what he's doing with the Lawn and Landscape magazine. And how he's moving us forward. And he's just a very respectable, great guy, great conversation. I love the guy, and we're so anxious to work very closely with them. It's going to be really cool.
That sounds like it's going to be a great opportunity for, to listen to that next Sunday. And then also, for guys that have the opportunity to attend that down in Orlando, for sure.
Yeah, even February is going to be okay. I mean, it's hit or miss whether it's cold or not, but it certainly isn't colder than New Jersey, Oregon, right?
Compared to everywhere else, it's not going to be cold, I'll tell you.
Nah.
We got a record low coming Tuesday night, maybe they're saying somewhere down in the mid-teens, possibly, us. And that's just mid-January weather is what that is. If
you guys get signed up and you guys go, this is what I want to do for Turfs Up Radio for our listeners. If you guys get signed up and you go in under Turfs Up, there's a promo code Turfs Up. You'll get 10% off. But what I'm going to do for those people, the first 15 people that do this, I'm going to host a dinner for Turfs Up Radio to say thank you. And it's going to be in Orlando as well. So we're going to get that all set up as well. So you not only get the 10% off, you're going to get a free meal and get to hang out with the people from Turfs Up Radio. How cool is that?
That'll be really fun. I know that the one you had here at the GIE show, that was awesome. So you guys listening, man, y'all need to do that and take advantage of that because Darren's a great guy to hang out with. I'll tell you that.
Oh, we had so much fun. It really was.
That was really fun.
Yeah, it really was.
There was a lot of good people to meet.
That's right. And make sure coming up in just a couple of minutes, stay tuned because you got Adam Linneman with Ron Edmonds. Learn a lot about that. I know, Wayne, you're going to be listening. I'm going to have to jump off because I got to jump on with him and listen to what's going on. But listen, we got so much going on. Turfs Up Radio. Remember, Raise the Mic. If you're going to miss it, you can download the Raise the Mic app. You're going to be able to, and you can listen to that over and over and over again. You'll be able to listen to the Executive Lounge. There's so many cool things. If you're confused and you want to learn more, all you got to do is give us a call here at Turfs Up Radio. Go to or email us at info@turfsupradio.com. I want to learn more. I want to learn more about how I can hear all this great stuff. We're going to be happy to do that. Well, everybody, you know what time it is? That's right. It's time to say goodbye until next week. I want to thank Wayne Bowles for hanging out with us because that was a lot of fun, buddy. Thank you so much. For Wayne Bowles, for everybody here at Turfs Up Radio, I'm your host, Darren Gruner, reminding you to stay green and keep your hands dirty. Talk to you guys soon.